college football.
It is that time of year again.
College football, it is back.
Here in Boulder, Colorado, right now is the epicenter of college football.
It's time! It's time! Let's go!
Welcome to RobDaManMedia with co-host Coach Dre.
Yo, what's going on this happy Monday, man? Blessed to everybody that's out there on this Monday. We are back. The portal is open. As y'all can see, man, the portal is jumping. Announcements are going to be coming. Visitors going to be popping up in Boulder. It's going to be a big-time show, man. Already over 600 players and already hit the portal from last year versus last year. It was like around 430 on the first day. So the portal is jumping first day out the gate. But Coach Dre, man, how the heck are you?
Oh, man, we good. Blessed to see another day. Just, things finna get crazy.
No smiling today, bro. Let the secrets out. Listen, man, I'm going to let the recruiting team do their work. And when you see it, you see it. Hey, man, the work is coming, man. The players are hitting the portal. Big-time names are hitting the portal as we speak. It's a lot of things going on, for sure. It's a lot of things going on. I just want y'all to stay tuned, man. Let them do their work. Let them do their work. They got a quarterback ahead of Juju Watts. I'm not going to say quarterback ahead of Juju, but you got to bring in competition. It's something that I've been saying, you got to bring a searchable quarterback in. You got to bring somebody, that understands, that can help Juju with progressions and things like that, and competition, right? You don't want to just hand the keys to Juju as a 17-year-old kid. You want to give him competition in that room. But I'm going to let Coach Dre, get in and tap into a little bit of that. I don't want to talk too much, but I'm going to let Coach Dre, how you feel about them bringing in Slater from Liberty?
I mean, again, Prime told you it's going to always be competition. He going to always try to put competition in the room. I don't understand why people thought that wasn't going to happen. We want the kid Juju. I know everybody wants Juju to play, but again, he's a 17-year-old kid just coming out of high school. Yes, he's a phenom. Yes, I do feel like he can play, but when there's interest in a kid with great character out there in the portal and he's showing interest in you, there is no guarantee that we're going to get this kid because he is a starter. It is probably going to be a team that might tell him just right off the rip, you're going to be the starter. And we know that Coach Prime is not going to tell him that. So that's what it all boils down to right now is what do you want to do? Coach Prime put out a great tweet this morning. And it just said, don't chase the bag and miss your blessings.
I got you, Coach Dre. Hold on. Don't get too far. We're gonna tap into that. That tweet finna go up. Don't worry. Matter of fact, I'll put it up right now. Go ahead, tap into it, Coach Dre. I'm gonna get out the way.
Again, all I'm telling y'all is look at the bottom where he say, ask grandma then what I mean. I've been telling y'all that since I've been on RobDaManMedia that if it was my grandma, and my grandma was in this day and age with this going on, and coaches was coming to our house, and they was talking about bag money, or they was talking about better than me as a young man and stuff like that. My grandma wasn't gonna want to hear nothing about the money. She was gonna be worried about the blessings and putting me in the best position for me to grow as a young man. So again, I try to tell y'all, but maybe not a coach done said it, y'all to listen. But a lot of these coaches and these programs, they're throwing money at these young men because they know that's what they desire, and the glitz and the glamour and the fame. But again, I keep telling you, if you give a kid from the apartment $100,000 or $200,000, that money gone in no more than 6 months. And this kid has went out and inquired more bills that he has to pay. A lavish lifestyle that he can't keep up with if he's not continuously getting that kind of income. Coach Prime is not offering that. What he's offering you is, and I'm not saying that it's not money that's not being handed out. What I'm telling you is that he is putting emphasis on making sure these kids are well prepared. You saw what he did for these young men that have kids. It's a lot of young men that go to college that already have a kid, and then some of them maybe have two. And so Coach Prime is setting these guys up so they're not acquiring more bills to put on themselves or their parents, that they're setting them up to where they can get it done. And again, when you got kids, well, we won't have walk-ons no more. So we'll say kids that maybe aren't starters that are getting in commercials and get NIL deals, and everybody's getting vehicles. Maybe not the likes of Jordan Seaton, but everybody don't want to have need all of that. So that's what it all boils down to. But Coach telling you he betting people because we don't want everybody. We don't want everybody. Everybody ain't meant to be a Colorado Buffalo because you got to meet them 5 characteristics, and them last 2 is the main 2. Discipline with character, and the definition of character is what you do when I'm not around. Character is what you gonna do when I'm not standing over your shoulder. We know what you're gonna do when Coach Prime is there and that great coaching staff that he's put together is there. But what are you doing when they're not around? Or what are you gonna do when you put in a bad situation? So everybody don't fit the bill to be a Colorado Buffalo, and a coach gonna vet and get the best kids that he can get.
Hey, listen, Dre. It's like Coach, like we went out and said it. We've been saying it, right? And then Coach Prime put the tweet out. I'm just saying, we don't just be saying stuff to be saying stuff. It's always something that automatically happens, after we say stuff and, things come out, but it is what it is, that's here nor there. But what I'll say this, right? If you're a kid that's coming to the University of Colorado that think about playing University of Colorado, they going to do a wellness check on you. They going to check everything about you, what kind of character you are, who you are, why did you leave, what was the purpose behind all of this stuff that you did, right? And so if you think that ain't going to happen, you're sadly mistaken, right? Because we've already built something, right? A family atmosphere in Boulder, in their locker rooms. They don't want nobody that it ain't trying to be part of the family that's coming there that's trying to be disruptive, right? I don't care if you got 1 year or 3 years left. If you coming to play for Colorado, something about you is gonna stick out, right? Something about your character, your discipline. You gonna have to do something to make this roster. So I don't want people to get misunderstood about why this tweet came out and things like that. Is because Coach Prime is letting you know up front, right? And I'm gonna put this back up on the screen for a lot of y'all because I think a lot of y'all missed this message, right? To many of the young. Oh, hold on, give me 1 second. All right, Coach J's back. All right. To many of the Porter young men that are looking to search for the right situation, you're going to get vetted throughout by us. And then I pray that you know the difference between offering a bag and being offered a blessing. Ask grandma and them what that means. And so what he's saying basically is if you don't think that you're going to come in here and walk in and get vetted, you're going to get vetted. Right? They're going to do their homework. They're going to do their research. They're going to ask some people. They're going to ask other coaches. Right, and you better hope that they don't know ain't really friends with somebody that's on the coach staff that you're leaving because they're really gonna ask them and they're really gonna dig deep, right, to see what kind of character you got. And you think if you just gonna get offered a bag to come here, they telling you right now that ain't gonna happen. But what we will do is we will bless you with the opportunity to be successful and send you on some NIL deals if it makes sense for us. But you can go ask your grandma and them, you know what I'm saying? We can sit down with your grandma, your mama, and we can have that conversation with them if you think we're lying. So it's all about, putting us in the right situation to be successful. There's a lot of things that we are looking for out of each player that comes to the University of Colorado. And the thing that people forget about most is, but if you don't add value, what we bring you in for. And I'm going to say this again. If you don't bring value, what are you coming for? We don't need another player just to come. You got to be able to add value to whatever room you about to step in. Because if Coach Prime going to bring a coach in, you got to add value. If he brings somebody from the staff, I don't give a damn if it's the janitor. If you don't bring value, you don't speak in the building, you ain't gonna be around. That's just flat out simple how this process is gonna go. So I'm glad Coach Prime went and put that statement out day one to let a person know. If you can add Colorado on a picture all you want, but that don't mean you come to the University of Colorado. And I don't want people to get mixed up when they see people just stamping Colorado on a picture, putting them in their top 5 or their top 3. Because a lot of these kids just do that just to draw their marketability up. That don't mean they come to the University of Colorado or even set a visit to come to the University of Colorado or really been in contact with the University of Colorado, right? They might have got on the phone just to see, they got a little interest in me. I'm going to go ahead and put them on there just to make it look good. That don't mean they come in there, right? They're going to do their due diligence this offseason to fix the problem. And that's what people don't understand. So, Coach Drake, when you look at this portal, how many kids you've seen so far hit the portal versus last year? What would you say to these portal kids? Because I know what I would say, but what would you say to these portal kids right now?
For the kids that's entering the portal, I hope you got a plan. That's my biggest thing. Is I hope you got a plan. Because going into the portal, just hoping that you're gonna live off of your morals or live off of whatever, and then especially if you haven't played. Now the kids that have played and have film out, real-time game film, I'm not talking about your practice film, but guys that have real game-time film, they have a better chance of coming out of that portal than these guys that don't. So if you don't have any game-time film and you haven't talked to any coaches and you just jumping in the portal because, I thought I was coming here and I was going to play, or this wasn't my first choice and now things didn't work out, I hope you got it figured out, because if you don't, you're going to be in that portal. There's a lot of kids that jumped in the portal last year that didn't even get a chance, the opportunity to come out. And now with these roster changes that have to go on in college football, you're going to see a multitude of kids in this portal. The best thing is, I don't want you to think that you're too big to go to a lower level school or to an HBCU school. Guys, if you have talent, they will find you. Let me say that again. Guys, if you have talent, they will find you. So you can go to a Jackson State, you can go to a Prairie View A&M, a FAMU, a FCS school, or even a Division II school, and still make it and have your dreams. Don't think that your dreams have to be solely mixed up in going to Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Ohio State.
They don't cut it no more.
Because that's not it anymore. So please have a plan. And the biggest thing is the people that's advising these kids, you guys need to do a lot better job. And parents, get people around you that are not looking at what they can get out of the deal, but they're doing what's best for your child. If that's not what they're there for, you don't need to be listening to their advice. If this is something to where they can get them a position at a school, or they can get a come up, that ain't the kind of people you want around your child. You want somebody that's there unconditionally worried and concerned about what's best for your child, not about what's best for them. Because what's best for them might not be what's best for your child. Just because they're offering the most money don't mean that's the best option. So if you jump into that portal, please have you a plan. I hope you done reached out through some back channel contacts, because if you haven't jumped in the portal, you couldn't be contacted by coaches and programs. But understand that kids do talk. That's what I will say. Kids do talk. And so make sure that you have a plan and have had some kind of conversation with somebody before you just jump in that portal and leave yourself. Like I say, don't always think the grass green on the other side, because we've seen on multiple occasions that doesn't happen.
It's greener for you to go sit on that bench, man, for you not to get what you want, but you got your money, right? That's the thing about it, is when you jump in a portal, if it's something about your why, right? What's your why? Why you jumping in the portal? But when you get to that next school, what's your why? What's your purpose? Why you want to play for that next school? And if all the benefit was to go play for some money, you're gonna be in a lose-lose situation. Because did you really put yourself in a better situation than what you just came from? I'm not telling you not to go chase the money. That ain't what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is, if you go there without a purpose and without a why, I promise you, things are not going to go the way you think it's going to go. if you come in with a selfish mindset, it's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. You're going to have to sacrifice. If you want to go to another level, you're going to have to sacrifice something. It's going to cause you to remove some people out your circle that don't need to be in your circle. And you're going to find out real fast. If you go to another school and you start failing, watch how many the same people that was in that corner before you transferred and told you go take that money. Watch what happened when the money ain't there no more. Watch what's happened to that circle. They ain't gonna be around. Trust me, they not gonna be around. And if I'm any recruit right now, right, and I'm looking at a Willie Simmons taking the FIU job, I'm more likely going out and play with Willie Simmons right now. I'm being honest. I'm going out and play down there with Willie Simmons because the opportunity and understanding that, man, the way the doors can open for you, and knowing that, you know, he's going to have to go get a complete roster, man, you got opportunity. So, Coach Dre, I just want you to, because, man, it's, as much as I love Coach Prime and everything, everybody ain't built to play for Colorado right now. I'm just telling you how it is. When you look at Willie Simmons and what he's doing at FIU right now, he's been announced as the head coach at literally like in an hour. He's about to be, a couple hours. He's about to be announced as the head coach of FIU. What would you say to recruits to look at Willie Simmons?
That he's the best coach in the state of Florida, college-wise, hands down right now. And that's talking about including the big three, that he's the best football coach in the state of Florida. And if you're talking about a guy that's a winner, a guy that knows the state of Florida, he's come up through the ranks. People said he couldn't do it. He's defeated the odds at every job he's had. He's won a national HBCU national championship, so there's nothing that he hasn't done. And if you're looking for a coach that's gonna put you in the right position, grow you as a young man in everything, in every aspect of the game, Willie Simmons is your guy. FIU is gonna be my other team this year because I'm so proud for Willie Simmons. I think he deserved to have the opportunity to be a Power 5 coach. And he deserved it. I think it's a couple of other Florida teams that really dropped the ball that had openings this offseason that could have signed him, and they didn't. So, but hands down, Willie Simmons is the best coach in Florida. He's going to go and put together a great staff. But it's going to be exciting to see what he does in the state of Florida, down there in Miami, in the hotbed. And again, the biggest thing is Willie don't even have to drive no car this week to see the best talent in the state of Florida, because every state championship game will be played in his stadium. So he doesn't even have to drive far to see the best talent in the state of Florida this weekend, because it'll be at his stadium playing the state championship.
So Nick, I am referring to his press conference, not him being announced as the head coach, because he's already head coach. It's just his press conference introduction to FIU. That's more what I'm talking about. But let's get into some news for Colorado, to get back on Colorado, right? I see you saying you feel bad for baby T.O. Well, I would say if you missed our last show when we talked about, Cardell Russell, it had nothing really to do with football, like on the field, right? I don't want people to get, he got caught up, and he don't got no film and this, that, and the third, and you feel bad for him. Sometimes things just don't work out, right? And I don't want to, speculate or tell this or say that or the real reason, but when you look at, the situation, it had nothing to do with football. It's always the little things that Coach Prime talk about, and we just go over it. When Prime already told y'all, or the position coach, not even Prime, the position coach tell y'all, and then we look like blue in the face, like, oh man, they're really happy. Why this person leaving? Well, you forgot the details of why the coach just said why somebody's probably leaving, and just called it out, and they just said what happened, but we overlooked what they didn't say it to us already. But we're gonna be fine. I promise we'll be fine. Wide receiver. That's one position I would never worry about with Coach Prime. Is wide receivers, cornerbacks, DB. That's them positions I don't even trip about. Right? Those people are gonna come. People gonna come in and out. Right? There. As we got off live, we had told y'all somebody was gonna leave the room, and Jordan O hit the portal. Right? So those things are gonna happen. It's you're gonna have nutrition, regardless of how you want to look at it. win, lose, or indifferent, you're gonna have nutrition, right? Georgia just lost a freshman wide receiver. Dude only played 3 games this year. They just lost a wide receiver. So it's gonna happen. It's just the nature of the game and how the transfer portal is. But speaking of, Colorado and looking at the transfer portal right now, we got a lot of Colorado, like born that families live in Colorado that left the state that's in the portal right now. We're looking to potentially come back to the University of Colorado. What would you say to them, the offensive lineman that left the state of Colorado that's in the portal right now that has the opportunity to come back to play for Colorado? They can really help this team move into another level.
Yeah, I mean, keep talking right quick. Give me 1 second, bro.
Okay. Oh yeah, so but yeah, I was already getting there, but yes, there is a lot of offensive linemen from the state of Colorado that has left. They went to Michigan, they went to Oklahoma, they went to various schools. That's in the portal right now. It ain't no mystery why they in the portal. If Matt McChesney, he's been in the ear of Colorado, right? He's been telling about his guys and how they don't feel happy and how this, that, and the third is happening. He sees the opportunity right now at the University of Colorado, the university that he loves. So this is something that's been set up in the makings for a long period of time. Now that the portal's open, now they can finally get in the portal. So now it ain't going to be no, this, that, and the third. Now they're in the portal. So now you can really talk to them and ask them, hey, what's your plan? What do you want to, what do you really want to do? And so I think those are the things that, you got to look at. Anytime you see an offensive lineman that's been to a bigger college, and I mean bigger college, I mean a more national college in Colorado, and that's played, you gotta look at those type of things. Those are good situations. But I will say Matt McChesney has a little bit to play. I'm not gonna say he has to play with them hitting a portal, but he has a say of them getting back in the graces of Colorado. So we got a lot of opportunity to go grab some offensive linemen from the state of Colorado that transferred out of the state of Colorado and went somewhere else. So it's a good thing to see. What up, Dale?
I'm back.
Rob, my man, what's going on?
Man, we good, man. Just in here talking some transfer portal stuff, man.
Coach Dre, my dog, how you feeling?
How you feel about some of the Colorado offensive line, not people that went to Colorado, but Colorado born and raised offensive linemen that's hitting the portal?
I like it, man. Some of them got real in-game college production, and those are some of the guys that we need, man. When you talking about those, those big guys, kind of like you said, coming from that Matt McChesney camp at 6-0, and he's done a good job of getting those guys to colleges, major colleges and stuff like that. So when he's sitting there talking about, hey, I got this guy, I got that guy, we kind of got to believe him, man, because he has a good track record of, putting those guys in college and they actually have production. So I think that's perfect, man, because again, they have real experience. They got the size. They got everything we're looking for, right? So if we can get some of those guys to come back, it's just going to take us to another level. I mean, it all starts in the trenches. So you get that offensive line ironed out. And again, we got a lot of offensive linemen coming back that was already on the team. So
yeah. I think we're going to do something in that room. I think there's going to be some action happening in that room real soon. If things play out the way Colorado wants to play out, it's once players come in, you're gonna see how players react.
Oh yeah.
It's not. I'm not saying they're leaving right now, but if you get the certain route of caliber of kids to come in, there's gonna be some nutrition of kids leaving out because they see the writing on the wall that it might be bye time. So
that second portal. That second portal, that spring. Like you said, if some people come in, you might feel like you compete, but you kind of like, oh, wait a second. All right, coach, you brought this dude in. And then you get into that practice, get in that weight room, and
I'm just being honest. If you go bring in 2 of those Colorado kids, let's say the Michigan offensive lineman and the Oklahoma offensive lineman that's born and raised in Colorado, if you bring them 2 in, that's going right there make a couple kids jump in the portal, and then you got your freshman class that's still coming in that a lot of them are going to be there. They should be there for the winter time, but if they not, they come in the summertime. That gives you room. So you're going to have more depth in it off the offensive line for me for sure. But you're finna create a lot of opportunities, and some kids gonna lead just based off nutrition.
I mean, it boils down to, like you say, we're not one of those schools that really is in the part to where the 105 is going to really affect us. So we're not going to sit here and tell you guys that we feel like guys going to get pushed out. Like my brothers just said, it's just sometimes kids don't want to compete. The one thing Coach Prime is not going to do is promise you no job. And what he's going to tell you is you have the opportunity to come in here and play. If you're in the offensive line, we got a left tackle, we got a center. That's what we got right now. We got a left tackle and we got a center. I think every other position up front is up for grabs because I believe that Tyler Brown is going to play defense next year. So if you're an offensive lineman, and we got the best offensive lineman coach in the country, and he's shown that on many different occasions. But if you don't want to be coached hard, then I don't know if you want to come here because that's what it's going to take. He coaching hard. He has a standard that he's setting, and that goes like for anybody that's want to come in the room. But again, everybody is not meant for the University of Colorado. So guys, I don't want y'all getting upset if we don't get some person that you wanted or that you thought was going to be good, because that's not what's going to happen. And the one thing you're not going to never see us do, we wish all of these kids well. We want them. We're going to still support these kids. Because sometimes it's just they need to get closer to home. It's a lot of things that play into why some of these kids hit the portal. And what's unbeknownst to y'all is Coach Prime, especially when you do it the right way, Coach Prime is going to do his darndest to make sure that you guys are all right. When you become a part of Coach Prime and his family, as long as you're not disrespectful, as long as you don't try to go out there and put out false narratives and spread false rumors, Coach Prime is a guy that's going to try his hardest to make sure that you're going to be all right. And so that's our biggest thing right now. And so let's, like I told y'all, I seen somebody say that. Let's see how many times they're going to say be patient. We told y'all that last year and see what happened. When you be patient, good things come to those who wait. Good things come to those who wait. So you keep talking, and we going to, like I told you, I don't understand why you, and this ain't no knock on whoever that said that God bless you, but what I'm telling you is I wouldn't even waste my time saying that because you know how we feel. Because if you're not patient, we don't get in the Cahill Green, right? If we go off of what everybody else did, and then we go all Titanic when DJ left last year and said he was going back to Florida State, and not be patient and no Coach Prime has a plan, we never get in the Cahill Green, right? And so nobody thinks of that type of stuff when they're talking. So if we don't get a kid that maybe we're looking at or that you might covet or that even Colorado might covet, we're not going to get everybody, guys. We're not. But the guys that we do get, look at the freshmen that we did bring in this year. 4 of those guys contributed on this football team in a major way. And if Michael Welch don't get hurt, I think he contributes in a way bigger way. If Cam McHale doesn't get hurt, I think he plays a lot more. Gage Goldberg was on the travel team every game. Gage Goldberg dressed, and it ain't because his daddy is Bill Goldberg, okay? Because Coach Prime don't care about that, okay? He dressed because these guys came in with a hunger, with a passion, and they showed people that they can play. And Cash Cleveland is a prime example, is that if you be ready, you don't have to get ready. I'll say it again. If you stay ready or be ready, you don't have to get ready. So when his name was called, he was ready. J-Dot just, hey, look at 650 kids in 2 hours, guys. That's crazy. And you already had over 1,000 or so in the portal left from last year.
Hey, listen. I seen somebody asked a question about the defensive line. I'm telling you right now, Dancy, Sapp, and D. Lewis, they looking for some nasty dogs who want to get down there in the trenches, who really want to be about that action. y'all gonna have to be patient on the D line because they gonna make the right decisions to bring the right people in. It ain't gonna be you bringing in 1 million people to try to find 5 or 6. They gonna really be strategic on who they go offer. You gonna have to really have some tape and understand that you willing to make a sacrifice and you can understand gap schemes and what they trying to do. We got the best three. We got the best 3 defensive line coaches. We gonna find the right pieces, and it just don't go up just because they went to this quote unquote school. We gotta offer them. Turn on the tape and watch and see what you get. Oh, they're gonna be looking to add some more Q dogs to the team, right? We lost a lot of Q dogs on the team, so you know they're gonna be looking to add some more Q dogs back to the team, right? If you look at our defense, how many Q dogs do we have on defense? Why do you think they gel so well, right? When you look at a BJ Green, when you look at Block Bully, when you look at Bentley, right? And then you go on the offensive side, we have way more Q dogs. I don't need to get into that talk, but what I'm saying to you is they gonna go get some dogs, and they looking for some headhunters that can go attack the quarterback, and that can control the game and just want to do their job, right? It's a guy that's on the radar. If he come in with the right mindset, he gonna be a Colorado Buff.
And Rob, I think they can be. They'll be a lot more strategic in who they choose. To target to come in because we don't need a whole lot of defensive linemen. We need to go grab some D tackles. And I mean, if there's an edge out there that's a dog, of course you go get a dog. But that edge room, I mean, we got a lot of guys coming back, man. But I think that D tackle room, and that's what not Dance, but that's what Sapp and D Lou played, right? They played D tackle, so they know what to go look for. They know what we lost. They know what we need. So I think that room, that's another room, like you said earlier, you're not worried about the DBs and wide receivers. I'm getting to the point. I'm not worried about the defensive line, and I'm not really worried about kind of who Phil Loho goes out and identifies based on who he's been able to go out and get already, right? So
Man, listen,
that's a good thing as far as the team.
I'll just say this when it comes to Phil Loho. Phil Loho could literally offer 3 offensive line from Colorado. I'm good. We upgraded just right there. We got a right tackle, a left guard, and a right guard right there alone. We just upgraded. We can
That's all you
literally
need.
be done.
Here's the thing. You just have to understand the dynamics. Donnie C, when we say be patient, we telling y'all to be patient. We know that. What we know is, what we trying to tell y'all is we already know that ain't got nothing to do with what Coach Prime got going on. But for you to go out here and to spaz out on kids and to put kids in predicaments that they don't, to make it look like their character is bad when that might not be the case, just because they decided that they was going to not come to Colorado or they was going to leave Colorado. That's what we saying about be patient. It's not necessarily about be patient and wait, but it is about be patient and wait. Because again, if DJ doesn't leave, Hill Green doesn't come. You understand what I'm saying? Cotton Hood being patient, knowing that he's coming in a room where we already have a DJ McKinney and we got arguably the best corner, one of the best corners to ever play in college football on the other side. Knowing I'm going to have to come in here and not being discouraged. Knowing that I'm going to have to come in here and work hard to earn me a spot on this football team to where I want to play, because I'm leaving a spot that I was guaranteed. I was guaranteed to be the man in Auburn. Guaranteed, no questions asked. He the man. He the number 1 corner at the University of Auburn last year if he stays at Auburn. So it's about being wise with what you say. I said this Friday. It ain't about what you say, it's how you say it, in the manner in which you present it. So you can say something that's right, but the way you present it could be wrong. I'll say that again. You can be saying something that's right, but the way you present it makes it wrong. And so, and that's character. That's part of the character thing that Coach Prime is looking for. Do I know how to be right and not make it wrong? You understand what I'm saying? Do we know how to do that? A lot of people don't. There's a lot of grown people that don't know how to do that right now. You understand what I'm saying? So That's what we're looking for, and that's how you better young men. But you have to teach them that. We can't expect young men to know that. They have to be taught that, and you have to be, again, selfless. And my biggest thing last night in the broadcast was the reason you see the young men being selfless is because you see these coaches being selfless. When you see a first ballot Hall of Famer and a 10-year vet with a coach that came from an HBCU, sometimes some coach be like, hey, man, you just stand over there in the corner and, you know what I'm saying, we got this. You know what I'm saying? But those guys knew, hey, man, we finna bring our rooms together. We gonna make sure that that they know that it's one voice, one sound. What y'all don't know about coaching is, if a kid think that the coaches ain't on the same page, they can keep the coaches at bay with each other because they think they can pit them against each other. But when you show kids the same thing at your house with your kids as parents, if them kids think that they can get you the two parents to keep arguing back and forth with each other, then I can stay out of trouble. But if
I was just about to say that, Coach Dre.
Great parenting is that we gonna show a united front. Now, when we get in this room amongst ourselves as parents, we can disagree. I might have wouldn't have done it like that, but we not gonna never let these kids know that we might not disagree, because you can't preach something and not practice it. And that's why we are such a selfless team, because not only do our kids do it, but our coaches do it. Go ahead, Dale.
No, I was just gonna say that, mention that part about, kids do it with their parents all the time. Do it with their parents all the time. So I mean, it's the same thing. Like you said, they can do it at practice. Especially with so many different coaches, right? So many different coaches and different titles and stuff like that. It's easy to, hey, nah, coach, but he said this. Oh, don't worry about it. I'll talk to him. You just kind of go back and forth. But to the original comment, it is just about being patient. Like it's about, hey, whatever roster decisions are being made, let it play out. Don't worry about, we seen, there's 650 guys who just in the portal. It's been 2-3 days and Colorado ain't got none of them. Oh, what Colorado doing? This team went and picked up 5 people. Oh man, why Colorado didn't get him, or why didn't they get this guy? Hey, relax. We gonna get who we supposed to get.
I'm gonna say this: the board has already been laid out in Colorado, right? We approaching almost 1,000 kids about to hit the portal. And by
That's
midday,
crazy, man. That's sad.
By midday, we're approaching. No, it's not sad, because you have to think about the NCAA driven this to happen because they said 105 is the number, right? So you driven people to hit the portal. So you can't blame nobody. It ain't nothing that you can say and be like,
well, no, yeah. I'm just looking at it as far as like in my mind, as far as how it was last year, with just before they even did this, right? When it was just 125 and it was still 3,000 people in the portal. It's like y'all just jumping in here thinking everything's sweet, man. It's not. But to your point though, now some of this has to happen. Like it's not even kids deciding to, like, I'm gonna jump here. Now it's like, hey, we got to cut this down. So
now, J-Dot, you are true. Majority of it is walk-ons are last stream on teams that's hitting the portal, or freshmen that was highly ranked in the class last year that ain't getting played. Those are the people that's hitting the portal right now. And so that goes to the point of when you talk about that 105, all the majority of the kids you see hitting the portal is the people that's trimming off fat off of teams, right? You just trimming the fat right now to get closer to that 105 number, right? And so then when you bring in the portal kids that you want, that's going to trim another fat, because if you elevate it in a room, that's going to take away whoever's last or whoever's second to last and who don't want to compete in that room. That's going to take them out the room. And so everything is just a trickle-down effect when you look at this whole grand scheme of thing. And that's why the numbers are so high, because it's a trickle-down effect of what's going on. And so when you see a lot of these kids from Georgia and Alabama and Ohio State and Michigan leaving, a lot of these kids just got there. A lot of them just got there.
Boy, these kids Alabama losing. These ball players.
Alabama losing ball players.
Listen, I was so shocked with some of these names from Alabama. I was just like, huh? This is another thing, but this is the biggest thing, that some of these it's a blessing and a curse, right? So a lot of these kids it was such a thing as a walk-on and a preferred walk-on, right? And it was a lot of kids that were taking these preferred walk-on scholarships, what they consider preferred walk-on scholarships, to go to an Alabama, a Georgia, a Florida, a Tennessee, instead of going to where they had offers to a HBCU, or they had an offer to a James Madison, a Delaware, a lower level school, and instead of them taking that, they would rather go take this a preferred walk on to go to Alabama just to say they went to Alabama. Well, see what the NCAA was saying is we're gonna cut that out, because as they up the scholarship, they also upped it for the HBCUs. They upped them for the Division II, and they upped it for the HBC the Division I AA. So I think the HBCUs now, I think they get 85,
which is huge.
which is huge for them, because I think they were just able to get 65 kids.
60, 62, 65, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's huge. And so now you're going to see some great football in HBCU and Division I and Division II. And now some of these coaches are going to be able to get top tier talent and show what good coaches they are, like what we saw with Willie Simmons, being able to get top tier talent to come to your school, the same thing that Coach Prime did, and you turn that program around. You go sit on a Power 5 staff for a year, and now you come back as a head coach of a big time football school. So, like I say, it's a blessing and a curse. But that's the biggest thing, kids, is don't never tarnish yourself. And that's the thing about when we be talking about character. Don't never tarnish yourself to where you think you too better, you too good for a D1 AA school, a HBCU, or a Division II school. Again, it's so many scouts out there now, and if you build the right relationships, if you doing what you're supposed to do, they will find you. They will find you.
Hey, coach. Don't burn a relationship, because you never know where that coach might be in a year from now.
And that's the biggest thing. You see you see a lot of kids. There's a lot of kids getting the wrong information, and that's my biggest pet peeve. Is adults leading kids in the wrong direction. Again, if you didn't see that post from Coach Prime this morning, it's something that Coach Dre been saying since the beginning, since we've been on RobDaManMedia.
Just up there, Dre.
And like I say, all that stuff at the front, but that stuff at the bottom is what I'm talking about. And if you don't know what I'm asking, or if you don't know what I'm talking about, go ask grandma them. Again, if we had a lot more grandma dems or grandmas like I had, it's a lot of kids that the money wouldn't be driving college football like it is in this aspect, because again, a lot of y'all been making it without this money, but now because they're throwing this money at you, you believe that it's gonna really help your situation. It's gonna help. It's a short term solution for a long time problem. I'm gonna say that again. It's a short term solution for a long time problem. Acquire bills that you got to continuously pay, and if you're not continuously getting that kind of money, then them bills gonna continue to add up. And so at the end of the day, go ahead.
No, finish. Sorry.
No, at the end of the day, we have to look at the bigger picture for us as a people, and these young black men. And all these young men that are out here, we got to do what's best for them in the long run. Let's not try to give them a short-term fix, because that's all you're doing. That's all you're doing is giving them a short-term fix. Let me give you $100,000. Here you go, man. Come on to my university to come over here and sit down on the bench. Most of these kids ain't never sat on the bench a day in their life. So that's the first thing is and then you got to deal with their mental state. See, money can only make you happy for so long. Y'all looking at y'all go stroll down Twitter and go stroll. The people with the most money got the most problems. And it ain't got nothing to do with their money. The people with the money got the most problems, right? So we want to put kids in a predicament to where they don't understand something mentally. Because mentally these kids have been the stars since Little League. Since they've been 6 years old. All I can do is go off of my son's credibility. David ain't sat the bench a day in his life. David don't know what this sitting the bench is. David don't know what coming in second behind nobody is. He don't know that. Because since he's been 5 years old, he's been playing. And then when the 1 year that we didn't have a 12U team, instead of my son going to go jump on another 12-year-old team and me take him all around, he said, Dad, I'll go up to 14U. And you know what? We went up to 14U and started. You get what I'm saying? So now you take a kid that's been playing and starting his whole life being the man, especially if you've been playing quarterback and receiver, especially them glamorous positions, right? You got all the girls screaming your names, aunties and mamas all up there. Everybody going ham on Friday night in Little League, right? So now nobody know who you is.
Facts.
Mentally, that messes with a kid. Now you done gave this kid $100,000. You know what? Now he burning through that money because he miserable, he depressed, he don't know how to handle this. And now again, I have put myself in a position. And that's what we got to try to fix. And you have to understand. And so now y'all see what the basis is of why I don't try to bash kids. I don't try to talk, because you don't know where these kids are mentally. You go from being the man to being nobody. Just like that.
That's facts. Hey, so what was the question that's been asked? Where's the funding coming from all these increased scholarships? So the NCAA is moving to a revenue share next season. After next season, it's going to move to a revenue share. So there's going to be money that's split up among conferences, schools, things like that. So when you look at why they're transferring the scholarship numbers before the revenue share comes out, because of the Class X lawsuit, is because you got to get everything ready so you don't have to wait till when it goes into play and then try to cut a roster and figure out who's this, who's that. You already know what it is, and you already know how the revenue share is going to break down per kid, things like that. You're already in play. So the NCAA just moved a year up to say, hey, listen, we got to get to this 105 number because that's how many kids we're going to pay in a revenue piece, the revenue share piece. This is from a Class Act lawsuit. So this is why you're seeing a lot of moving pieces this offseason. And this is going to be the wildest college football offseason that you've seen, just due to the fact of roster. You got to understand roster management now, right? And so you got guys that say, like Corey Phillips' position, they're now GMs now. Corey Phillips is now a GM. He's now got to manage a roster, because now you're talking about real money going to be involved coming up the following season with revenue share and breaking out equally and all this, that, and the third. And so, yeah, every player now is truly going to get paid and going to get paid equally. But the people that got true NIL deals are going to get paid more money for the endorsements and stuff like that. So it just cuts out all the BS. But now it's still gray area to all this stuff, right? I don't want nobody to look at it crazy. There's still gray area to this. But the reason why they increased, and it's not just football. So don't think the increase was just football. It was for every sport at the Division I level got an increase in scholarships. The sport that got the biggest increase on scholarships was baseball. Baseball got the biggest increase on scholarships, which I don't understand why they were so low from the begin with, but they got the biggest increase. And I seen somebody had a question in the chat about Primus really pushing for a baseball team at the University of Colorado. Well, there's a reason why he's pushing for this, because some of you're going to see a team like Georgia, what they're going to end up doing. They're going to start using baseball scholarships for football players. They're going to start using track scholarships for football players. It's how you steal players without being on a technical football scholarship. They got to be on scholarship. That's cool. We're going to put them in a different sport. Now they're on a scholarship, but they can still play football. They could be a dual sport athlete in college. Just saying, there's going to be some great area that they're going to fix, that there's going to be a fixing for. And so when you look at Prime and why he's trying to push for a baseball team, it's because then you can go hire kids on a baseball team for your football team, and they can play baseball. And a lot of these kids that's coming out now want to play baseball and play football. And it's just the nature of the game. There's always going to be some type of gray area to get around some rules and regulations in college sports. There's always going to be. It ain't going to never stop. There's always going to be some type of loophole to figure something out. So when you start to break things down and why you seeing what you're seeing, it's just loopholes that's coming to college that you finna see. So I hope that that better answer your question. Go ahead, Coach Ray.
Bring that question up and so Dave can answer that. T Rich said, yeah, I think we don't that one. Yeah, I don't think we put enough accountability on grooming that goes on. Yeah, answer that right there, Dave.
Oh man, let me see. So I think we don't put enough accountability on the grooming that goes on in Little League and high school levels. Is challenging because there's little character vetting. I mean, listen, it's serious, man. I mean, you got the next 6-year-old, 7-year-old that's the next superstar. And like Coach Dre was saying earlier, like a lot of times, man, they don't necessarily they've never not been the guy. So you get kids at a young age. Nowadays, kids is jumping from team to team to try to go win something. You actually have, national youth football pages where coaches across the country know this 9-year-old that's all the way. You on the West Coast, this 9-year-old that's all the way over here in Northern Virginia. They know the kids by name. They know this kid in Georgia, and they're actually recruiting kids. And then you got, you just not just youth football, tackle wise, but you got 7-on-7. So you got kids that, 9, 10, 11 and up, you playing 7-on-7. It's kind of similar to AAU basketball, right? Like you might live in Virginia, but you play on the AAU basketball team in North Carolina. So you got kids that's going from city to city, state to state, playing on these 7-on-7 teams. But yeah, I mean, they get you, they're getting kids ready, man. It's recruiting at a young age. We got a team here that's kind of going through that same thing where, and no fault of his own, right? Great coach, won 2 back-to-back state championships. Decided, hey, listen, but I always had a lot of issues with the county because people just, he looked like us, right? He was, kind of younger, you know what I'm saying, kind of gave the culture, right? He coming to the game with his hat on, his Jordans on. They had the slogan OTF. They just doing their thing, dominating, and people hated it. So just recently, he switched schools, went to another school, the next county up. They had an investigation at the beginning of the season, because they knew, hey, they got transfers, of course. Decent amount of kids left, the previous school, came to the new one. Right around playoff time, I think it was a week before playoffs, they said they were ineligible to play in the playoffs. They took them out. So then the parents had to go to court so they could play in the playoffs and things like that. Played the first playoff game. They was winning 75-0 at halftime, whooping them, right? But what ended up happening, the whole thing went to they were trying to say, oh, well, one of the coaches who was, they groom these kids to be this and be that just for their, advantage. I didn't like that because, hey, if I'm a great coach and I've coached some of these kids since they were, they were younger and we won state championship, national championship, so on and so forth, and parents see not only am I getting the best out of their child as an athlete, but they're doing better in school and so on and so forth. Of course, the parents going to want to follow that coach. And again, they called it grooming though. So it's kind of it's
I,
a tough world, man.
I
It's a
got it.
fine line, but
I
you
get
know,
what you're going at with this situation. So I'm gonna explain something, right? What he's saying is right. In a sense, it's when you talk about the high school level and grooming kids, it's harder nowadays to groom a kid in high school. Here's why. If you don't discipline your kid at home and a high school coach disciplines your kid, you're gonna transfer your kid out of that school because you don't want your kid to be disciplined because he or she'd always been the man or the girl. She's been her or him, and what fly before you got to high school don't fly in high school. Now what you're starting to see is a lot of schools are hiring high school teachers. They're not hiring coaches. And a lot of the people that's coaching these teams are just coaching just so they can get some extra money on the side from, the school district or whatever. And so there won't be no accountability when you don't have somebody that understands the rig. Like I've seen a lot of coaches, like it's just and I'm just going off Colorado right now, right? I've seen a lot of coaches coaching as a head coach. They don't got no experience. They never played the sport, but just coaching because it's an extra check. So
that's
how can you hold somebody accountable on something that you never played, but you just coaching just because the school needed a coach and they didn't want to bring somebody from the outside in because the person they bring from the outside in doesn't want to teach in the school.
yeah. I mean, again, that's an issue that's going on, right? Like some smart ads, or they'll say, hey, you know what, we're gonna go get somebody again that's coached in the community, that's coached on some of these teams that know the kids.
Yeah.
Some of them are gonna go out and go get those guys, but then again, you have the administrations like, hey, they don't actually work in the school, or you'll have someone
Yeah.
who may say, you know what, I'm gonna go get one of the coaches and at least put him on my staff. He might not have to be the head coach, but I'm gonna get somebody that knows everybody, so we can
But
kind of either get these
There,
kids to
there
come
you, there
in.
you, there
so
you
here's the
go.
thing.
There you
So
go.
here's the thing though. The people that keep winning state titles, you know why they keep winning state titles? Because they actually went and got a coach. He's not a teacher that doesn't
Hey,
know anything about the sport.
here's the thing, and I let them go because I wanted another perspective because I know y'all know I coach. I have 2 national championships, and that's not to brag in little league. Um, I've been to the state championship in high school. What they're telling you is the God heaven truth. Teddy Britt, when you go get you a football, Northwestern was a powerhouse in the state of Florida for a long time. Their coach left, they went down, right? They brung back their biggest their biggest success story in the NFL, which would be Teddy Bridgewater. Well, next Friday night, Northwestern will be playing for a state championship in the state of Florida. They've beaten the opponents in the state playoffs, like I think it's like 200 and something to like 12 or 20 points or something like that. But they have a football coach. They have a football mind. Uh, the biggest thing is you have to pay these coaches for their time. Right now, if you coaching as a hobby, right?
Yep.
If you're not in the state of Georgia, if you're not in the state of Texas, okay? People would think that high school, you see Luke, Coach Prime, them always advocating for Florida football coaches because Florida football coaches are some of the most underpaid coaches in America. And when I tell you guys, high school football takes up your time.
Football in general. Like,
It like Prime not telling y'all no lie. Now it's at a bigger scope, but just imagine now as a head coach, you got to worry about kids' grades. All I can do is go off the east side. Not only do we coach these kids, but we're in their lives. We know what's going on at their house. We know what's going on this, that, and the third. Coach Prime knows. I guarantee you, Coach Prime knows everything that's going on with those kids on his team, and that's when you're a good football coach.
That's right. Hey, coach,
Can you go ahead?
I think we might have been over here, right? But I was maybe beginning of the season, and it was a conversation about what makes a good coach. And I said everything that had nothing to do with football
It's right.
because
Everything,
it's
Yeah.
everything right.
it's how you treating me. Like, again, can I come talk to you? Can we relate? Are you gonna come pick me up? Like, it's a lot of those conversations where people saying, "Hey, we had these conversations in the car. You know, I picked you up and we talked about this and we talked about that. Coach, I know I can come to you when something's going on in my house. You know, if I'm living, you know how I'm living at home. You know what it's like. You might have brought me an extra sandwich or something like that. You might have paid for my registration, and my parents can't,
Hey,
you know,
listen,
couldn't
and
get
let me
me
say,
here, but you paid my way to get here.
there you
It's
go.
a lot
There
of
you
different type of stuff that's
there you go. And that's
outside of the game. But then if you can add on winning to that, right? And winning comes with that because when you have a team that can bond and you got players who actually love the coach, like, hey, I love coach. Now they play harder, and then ultimately, you win. Of course, you want a coach that can do his job. Like, hey, we want to win, coach. But if you got a coach who's a winner and he actually is involved, you're gonna sit down with the kids. He can joke with the kids and do all that type of stuff. Being a good coach is way more than wins and losses. Way more.
you don't. I tell people all the time, well, coach, why you say that? I heard somebody ask me that one time, coach, why you always say you don't coach for wins and losses? Cause that ain't what God, that ain't the purpose God put on my life. He put on my life to help young men and to change young men's lives. This is just a tool. Football is just a tool that I'm using, and I win because of the discipline and the respect that these young men get. These young men will go out here and run through the wall for Deion Sanders. If you ain't got ball players that's willing to do that, you ain't got no football team. If you got a bunch of individuals that's here for and it's kids like that. It's some kids that come jump on your team that's a good player. They're only there what you can do for because what you can do for them, not what I can do for you. And that's always my speech to my kids. All this stuff that Coach Gator has done for y'all, when y'all gonna do something back? When y'all gonna reward him? Y'all, the biggest reward y'all can do, go to class, get good grades, so we can have a great GPA and come out here on Friday nights and show the world that this guy is putting in the effort to make you a good coach. Again, my high school where we coach at now, before we got Gator as the head coach and we came back, we had won 4 games, maybe 4 games in 5 years. They're going out and, like you say, going out and just getting guys to coach because, like y'all say, they want somebody that's in the school system.
Yep.
And then this the biggest thing, guys, is the money that they're getting for coaching. That's nothing compared to what they get for teaching. So they could be teaching an extra class
Yep.
instead of coaching and making more money than them out here coaching your kids and putting up with the rigmaroles of coaching. You get what I'm
Yep.
saying? So you gotta have guys that want to do this. You got to have guys that want to pour into young men and make young men better. And when you get that, that's when you become winners. And you can fake it. You can fake it. There's a lot of coaches out here faking it that they just doing it for the wins and the losses and to beat their chest. But eventually, it
Catch up
comes out.
with you.
Eventually, it comes up. I think Urban Meyer a hell of a football coach, but Urban Meyer did shit his way, and he closed. He had a blind eye to a lot of stuff. I'm here in Gainesville, Florida. Can't nobody tell me that it's not a lot of stuff that went on because I'm from the inner city. I know what was going on because I had kids that was out and about. And it was a lot of stuff that got swept under the rug because he's winning. Kirby Smart just went off on the SEC commissioner after winning the SEC championship game. And nobody has said me thought about that, right? But if
Nope.
Deion Sanders would have won the Big 12 and stood up there and said what Kirby Smart said to the commissioner, that's all that would have been on ESPN, right?
Every single day, and why he should leave.
Or why the Colorado Buffaloes should fire him. But because Kirby wins, all that other stuff get brushed under the world. Hey, make no mistakes about it. If Nick Saban is the head coach of the University of Alabama, Alabama in the playoffs yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it just goes to show you, man. It's a lot of things when it comes to like when people start talking about high school recruiting and then why you know, you start to see kids transfer when they get to college and do all these different things and don't develop and don't sit there to develop. It's because they didn't have to do it in high school. Because the minute you start disciplining kids in high school, they gonna jump ship.
But like I said, Rob, it's starting before then, man. It's starting when they 9 years old.
It
They going
is,
from
but
team to team to team.
here's my
And,
thing. You
and, and that's
you
and that's
go
what
out, yeah,
and
you
that's
go
what
out and
we've
you
been
pick it.
telling y'all.
Yeah,
That's what we've been trying to tell y'all is that this transfer portal stuff, it's just getting to the college level. This been going on since little league and high school for the like they've been making rules up for, like right now here in Florida, right in my district, you can play football for one school, right?
and
And
go play
after
basketball another one.
football, you can transfer to another high school and be eligible to play that sport for that high school.
Yep.
So college football is just catching up. And one of the main reasons they really did it was because of what was going on in coaching. The coaching is what really started this. Is coaches could get up and leave, and kids don't make no mistakes about it. I just told you. I know it's Alabama. And if you talk to the people in Alabama, you want to come to Alabama because it's Alabama. That's a lie. We come to Alabama because we want to play for St. Nick. We want to sit around the round table with Nick Saban. So back then, when coaches were getting up and leaving, kids couldn't leave. So now I'm stuck here with whoever you bring in the coach. And I didn't even like you said, I wasn't recruited by this guy. This guy hasn't said this to me or doesn't know me like that. And they couldn't leave. They were stuck with this guy. So that was one of the main reasons why they did this transfer portal thing, was because they wanted the kids to be able of. So that's how it first started, right? If I remember
Because
right, that was
coaches
the
could
first
leave,
thing.
they won't. Players
Yeah,
should be able to
that was the
leave.
first way the transfer started. It was just, if your coach leaves, then you can leave.
Yeah, because
And
they got tired of coaches hopping around and the kids get stuck.
right.
But go ahead, Coach Jerry. Go ahead and finish.
So that's how it started. It started as when the first little bit of rule came, it was like, if your coach leave, we'll open a window for you to leave and go to another school. Well, then people start complaining about that. Well, why they the only people that can do that? Well, what if my position coach leave? Is that the same thing? If the position coach leave, can I leave when my position coach leaves? And so then it just opened up the door, and then the NCAA just, okay, then they said if you leave and go to another school, you got to sit out a year, right? But if you go to a lower
Or
level school,
JUCO, yep.
you can play right away. Well, then people start filing appeals and getting their appeals approved for them to play right away, which everybody got one the year before, and Tyler Brown didn't get one. And I still don't understand that. But
yeah.
So, and then the NCAA just got tired of it. And so they got tired of the appeals process. So then now they just say, hey, just do what you want to do.
Yep.
Because they just got tired of it. But because at the end of the day, it's a lot of y'all gonna hurt yourselves and not hurt the NCAA. Because the NCAA gonna get paid.
That's facts.
The NCAA gonna get paid. Now, is you gonna be able to get your degree and all that good stuff with doing all this running around? And then here's the biggest thing, guys. You hit the portal once, okay. But for some of these guys who have jumped in the portal, every year the portal done been open, I'm just asking you guys, and I don't know this for a fact, how many of you guys think a coach gonna trust you?
They not. Yeah, how can you trust a kid like that, right? Because I know when times get hard, I know you out of there.
So that's why I say, kids, I hope you got a plan. I hope you getting advised right. Like I say, if I hit the portal one time, I can understand that. But when we talking about this your second or third time hitting the portal, when I look at some of these kids' names, he played at this school and this school, it's just like, man, come on, bro. We gotta make it work. Like you say, one time. Go ahead.
I was going to Northside, his comment. That's part of the portal. All right.
It's not part. It's not
Yes,
part of. It's
it's
not
not
part of
part
the
of it.
portal. It's not. It's just y'all. Listen, Northside. Look at how many kids were left in the portal last year, and in 2 hours, we said 650 kids have hit the portal. I don't even think half of that 650 gonna get picked up. It's because we gonna let y'all drown yourselves. Now you can't go to the NCAA and say, "Hey, we didn't, we pushed you out. We gave you the option of what you want to do." Now, some of these other schools that had these big rosters, yeah, they had to kick kids off. But that's because again they was hoarding kids on their roster with this preferred walk-on rule. That was the biggest rule for making a roster besides the share value of it. It was about Alabama got 150 kids on their roster. It's 3 or 4 stars. It's 3 stars on their roster that could have went to another school and been playing.
Yeah.
That's just sitting there to say that they go to the University of Alabama. What that don't make no sense.
Or just to collect the championship ring, just to say I was a national champion. Didn't even play. Didn't even sniff the grass, but just to say I'm a national champion. It's crazy. All right, but let me go ahead and answer this. I'm gonna have y'all answer this super chat. Appreciate that, Northside. I mean, I get why people think like it's cool, it's common, but what it shows is what you don't realize. You keep jumping in the portal, right? And then you say I want to go to NFL, go to NFL. You know how much they're gonna question you even more because of how much you didn't jumped in the portal. And I'm gonna give you a prime example of this right now before I answer the super chat. If you look at a kid like Brett Alexander, who started at the University of Georgia, who had a role and started his role to give him the opportunity to go transfer to USC, right? Nothing wrong with that. But then you play the USC 1 year. Then the next year, you play 3 games and shut it down for the rest of the season to go to another school. What kind of question you think that he gonna have to answer to the NFL and the executive on why he left USC? Just think about that, right? Because that's the ultimate goal, right? I can't believe you comparing college to NFL. It's not comparing college to NFL. I'm just using a person as an example, right? And here's the thing, Jay. I'm glad you said that because it makes another point, right? Every time something goes rough at your job, that's telling you to go jump to another job, and then something go on and jump another job. At some point, you gotta look yourself in the mirror and say, "Hey, what am I doing wrong that I need to fix?" I think we forget about that, though, right? I think it's just character, man. The discipline of your character is what's gonna matter, and I think that's what you forget about, right? I'm not saying kids don't have an opportunity to go jump to a different school. You can go do whatever you want. When you start talking about people's characters and discipline and things like that, you gotta make it make sense. And some of it started since you was in middle school or before middle school, and that's why you're doing what you're doing now, and you still haven't learned. If I don't make my mind up right now, this is the situation I'm gonna be in for the rest of my life. Is when everything goes bad, I'm gonna jump ship. Because I ain't never had to go through nothing. I ain't never had to fight for nothing. Come on, man. But let me get back to the super chat. All right, is Coach Prime contract in place? What resources are out there for parents to understand the recruiting game? Travis at the next level. If you are a head coach, would you play him? Congrats to Willie Simmons and Fam Brown. So the first part of our answer is Coach Prime contract in place. They're working on Coach Prime contract. Whether they publicly come out and state what it is, that's a whole nother different story. But all the assistants in Coach Prime contracts, they're working on that stuff behind the scenes. Whether they come out publicly, that's something to be a whole nother story. What resources are there out there for parents to understand recruiting game? to be honest with you, there really ain't no resources out there, right? They're really not. You just
And
need you need. Oh,
hold on. If there was a resource when Coach Riz got to Colorado,
oh yeah.
he started a YouTube page, and he would come on there. And he would call it Riz with the 101, and he was breaking down what you needed, what parents needed to know, what kids needed to know, what signs for parents to look at, and for some reason it wouldn't get the hype and the buzz that it deserved. And he was giving you the game, and I told y'all, Riz Michael Jackson in Florida, he the man. And so again, it come back to what we be trying to tell y'all. People try to give you the resources for it, but everybody don't want the help. Everybody think they got the answers. I know I don't got all the answers. I don't even, that's why I keep telling y'all I'm just a nobody, because I know I don't have all the answers. But a guy like Grizz, who recruits the best of the best kids, who done sat and talked to the best of the best, and for him to sit down and he had a whole YouTube page, it might still be up, guys. Y'all can go check it.
No, it's still up. Hey, somebody in the one of the hey J-Dot, can you do me a favor? Can you go get Rid's page and post it into the chat? Because he talk about some real stuff in his videos, and it's for any recruit. If you're a parent recruit and you want to know something, Rid's got it on his page. Hey J-Dot, can you go get Rid's page and drop that link into the chat for everybody? Appreciate you.
You got
bro.
anything to add to that, Dale? You got anything to add to that?
I'm gonna come back to the JB part. Just hitting the portal. All right. So Travis at the next level is, if you're a head coach, where would you play him?
Hold on. Once he showed me he could dominate both one side, he would dominate. He played both sides of the football for me. But to start off, me personally, I would want Travis Hunter to play receiver on my team if it was my team, and then play DB. But I think that Coach Prime is gonna vet all these teams and make sure that Travis gets the opportunity to do what he wants to, what he can do, and that's play both sides of the football. And so any team that gets him, I think they're gonna probably try to start him out on one side of the ball, but I think he's going to end up playing both sides of the football.
All right, so everybody, here's the link to Coach Rid's channel, man. If you want to know something about recruiting and you want the real breakdown analyst, he got it on his page, man. I'm telling y'all, he gonna drop some jewels. He gonna help you understand a lot of different things. I think we might need to reach out to Riz, have him come on the channel, man, so we can really have a deep conversation about recruiting. But we gotta see what the schedule look like. But this is Coach Rid's channel, man. I want everybody to go over there, check out some videos of just him just talking about recruiting one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people there's layers to everything in recruiting world. And I think that's the problem that a lot of people forget is there's real true layers to college football. There's true layers to recruiting, and how things are presented to you. I'm telling you, majority of the time, a lot of these kids get locked to the school they go to just to get them there. So hey, but yes, JB has officially hit the portal. Jeremiah Brown is hitting the portal. This is me talking. I don't want nobody else to say this. I truly think JB leaving, he's probably gonna go play with Willie Simmons, right? This is a situation where, hey, you hit up Willie got the job. Hey, you can go down there and start. You're gonna be at a lower level, but you can go there and start, because I'm gonna put you in the hands of somebody I trust. So him going to Willie Simmons, I think will be a good situation for Jeremiah Brown to go FIU. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think not surprising, man. I mean, I was having this conversation, a couple of days ago in the Discord. It's like, JB's he's a senior now, right? This will be his fifth year.
He'll be a senior
this will be his fourth year. Yeah, and it's kind of like when it's been that long, and you just, he had a good season at Jackson State early on. But when you in a place for a while and you're not able to, you just can't scratch it, and you can't really, get to that next level to where you actually getting some playing time, even a little bit of playing time or significant playing time. Sometimes, that either just not the right place for you to be, or maybe you just need to go just a step down, right? So, like you said, I do think that FIU move would be a good move. It's just one step down, and everybody, let's not act like. I mean, D1 is D1. I mean, there's a difference. You got Power Five and stuff, but if you can go D1, Group of Five, FCS, you a baller. So him going down to G5, there's nothing wrong with that. He can ball out. Um, get some accolades, get the playing time, and get some real film to where, shoot, who knows, man? He could go so crazy he gets drafted, or hey, all right, now I got out here, I got some good tape. I can give me a camp invite, the following year. But shout out to JB, man. I was kind of hoping he stuck around, just so he could get that opportunity. Because again, I think they said his whole issue initially was he just didn't know exactly where he wanted to be. If he wanted to be an edge, if he wanted to be a linebacker, he would kind of teeter back and forth. And I think this year he finally kind of looks like he set his sights on, okay, I'm gonna play linebacker for real this time. But I think he needed that extra little bit of time. So him taking that red shirt was smart, so he could get that time to really lock in and learn the position. But again, like you said, hey, be patient, because if that's another linebacker going out, obviously we know we lost some going to the draft. Best believe there's gonna be some linebackers coming in. But shout out to JB, man. Can't hear you.
When I said last night we need to add 3 linebackers, I mean, I don't know nothing.
I mean, at the end of the day, guys, this is what I don't want to hear, and because if it do, it's gonna kind of make me upset. Oh, he can't even keep his prime kids. The prime kids are leaving. If you believe that Jeremiah Brown is leaving and he hasn't had a full-fledged conversation with Deion Sanders, that he doesn't have a plan, then I don't know what to tell y'all. Again, he just didn't get his opportunity. It just seemed like every year we got some guys in that could play. Bentley turned it on, and you got a guy like Hill Green that came in here and did his thing. I thought he had turned the corner in the spring. I'm not gonna tell nobody no lies. I thought
Mm-hmm.
JB had turned the corner. I felt good about him going into the fall. I thought we was gonna see him more. But the defense that we started to run, it required just 2 linebackers. So when you only can have 2 out there, you get what I'm saying? I just think the nutrition. So like you say, I'm with Rob. I won't be surprised if he's in the FIU uniform, uh, or even back at a HBCU. And to me, it would be no knock. I'm gonna support him. I love that
Yeah,
kid because
we wish
he
him
works
nothing but the
hard.
best.
He works hard. He's done nothing. And then if you go back and watch some well-off videos, he's one of the kids that he has a plan in place. He knows what he wants to do after football. If he doesn't make it to the league or make it to the NFL, he has a plan. Coach Prime has helped him with that plan. So he's one of those kids that's already ahead of the 8 ball on what he wants done. So
But
a
just coach,
little sad. A little,
I was just gonna say, take it to another point. When you look at how hard he's working in the the weight room, to set PRs and things like that, he had to have a plan, because he wouldn't have just left like that. As hard as he's working in a you know the weight room. I'm just saying. Go ahead, Coach Ray. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
so it's just good. We gonna support him. Uh, he's a great, like I said, he's a great kid that already got his head on his shoulders. He's been prepared. He has this Power 5 level taste because he did. It's not like he didn't play, so he did get playing time. I know he was on a lot of special teams. Mid season, he asked Coach Prime could he red shirt, and Coach Prime let him do so. So and you know that he talked with Coach Prime, or they had a conversation, because Keaton Wade was going red shirt too. Remember, he told y'all, "Oh, I'm a red shirt," and then, "Hey, buddy, you playing too well. We can't afford for you to red shirt." So again, guys, there's no way we could think that all this portal talk was gonna go on and that Colorado wasn't gonna have some kids hit the portal. So we wish him nothing but the best. I want the best for that kid. I want him to find the best home. And like I say, Willie, if you're listening to me, I know it's about time for your press conference. JB is a kid we need to go get. Put
He'd
in
be a
that
great
linebacker room.
great character kid for Willie. Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be good though. Like I said, this won't be the last kid, guys. So I don't want you flipping out and getting upset when kids hit the portal. Kids are doing what's best for him, and especially when you. This is a prime example for you. Why not to flip out? You know this is a good kid. You know this kid has done everything right. You know he a kid prime love up and down, right? He's still hitting the portal because he feel like he wants, again, it comes back to what we talked about earlier. He wants to play. He feels like he can go somewhere and play. And so now he's going to take that opportunity that he has, that the NCAA has granted him, and now he's finna go play. So that just shows you that what we're talking about is we're not just talking out the side of our necks. It's a reason behind it, everything that we're talking about. Go ahead, Dale.
So let's answer this question, right? I got a question. How do y'all feel about kids hitting the portal last year to go to ASU? Did they make a good decision? At the end of the day, we don't always wish a kid well to wherever they go. It's really up to them. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like it doesn't hurt us and it doesn't help us. You know what I'm saying? Wishing bad for a kid to go to another school. So from my perspective and RobDaManMedia, I mean, we gonna wish them well. That's just the bottom line to the whole situation. It's never no hard feelings because guess what?
Here's my thing.
If a kid leave, we got something coming.
Here's my thing. Put yourself in that man's parents' shoes, and he's they've been at Colorado, right? And they hop on here because we have we know, y'all might not know, but we know this. It's a lot of parents that watch our show, right? And you come on here, and just because your son made a decision in life, you got grown people bashing him and talking down on him and throwing him under the bus and making it seem like he's a bad kid. What has Jeremiah Brown or any other kid for that matter done to deserve that? He done nothing but make a decision. I'm gonna ask you, have you made bad decisions in your life? In whatever, however old you is? I have.
Hold on, Coach Ray. What do you mean by Coach Prime won't let him play? Everybody on his team got an opportunity. I'm confused.
Bro, why would you even bro? Them kind of questions ain't nothing to even talk about. That ain't nothing to talk about. Bro, that ain't even nothing to talk about. Like when people say stuff like that, they just trying to get a reaction. You get what I'm saying? But what I want y'all, what I want you guys to understand is put yourself in that position. That you're a Colorado Buff. These people say I know everybody in here ain't Colorado Buff fans, so I don't even expect that. But what we're going to tell you is that we have moderators, and we're not going for that. Okay? So there will be no bashing of any kid because they made a decision. Because when you made your decision in life, did anybody bash you? And if they did, do you remember how it made you feel? And ask yourself, do you want a kid to feel like that who's just trying to make better with themselves and make better in their lives? Go ahead, Dale.
Go ahead, Dale. Would there be any starters returning on defense? I mean, the starters gonna be the corners, for sure. You got DJ Colton Hood. Those two are gonna return. You got your edge. You still got Walker, Sam, there. You got McNeil returning. So we got returnees on the defense. You got West as the linebacker. You got Barnes as the D tackle. Keaton Wade. We got players, right? But it's the evaluation, right?
Let me ask you this, Rob, real quick.
That Coach Prime made them grade their own self performances after each practices. They wasn't doing that for no reason. They literally told y'all the plan and literally said the plan to them. Hey, listen, you grading your own self on paper. And if you failing your own self, then what else are we talking about? Think about this. I grade my own self and I give myself a failing grade because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do during practice. So what make you think I need you to be around if you're failing yourself? And I know that you're failing, but you're failing yourself and you grading yourself after you watch the film and show that you didn't get the best. What do you think? What am I keeping you around for? Come on, people.
Go ahead, Dev. Ask your question, bro.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask. We had this conversation a couple of days ago. Who would be your starters at the DN going into next year? Because we got a lot of them. That and the ones that are coming back all played, all rotated, all had really good years for the moments that they got.
It's too hard to tell right now.
Yeah,
It's
I
hard,
mean,
man.
I think Sammy O is a lock. I think Okunlola is a lock. But that
No,
other
Nobody,
side,
nobody a lock right
if you
now.
had to give me if you really made me put some money up on a lock right now, I would go with Allen Walker. If you had to make me go with a lock, and I said this last night on the live, I think Walker is going to be the leader of the defense next year. I just think Allen Walker is going to be the leader of that defense next year. He a Colorado guy. His daddy is one of them guys from Colorado. It was a big time player there, but he would be my guy. I know Hayes coming back off an injury. But like you say, everybody played well on the edge, man. Everybody played.
Y'all be forgetting about Taj McCoy. He just chilling, number 40, just murdering people on special teams, just waiting on his opportunity. That's the name that always gets forget about when we start talking about the DNs, bro. We got we're right now we got six DNs right now that we talking about, and so I don't really think it matters who start. Just get the job done for me.
And yeah, and then you got to say you got the kid Mertz coming in from IMG. What you gonna do with McPherson when he get there? You got big to come in that defensive tackle. You got Big Hudson coming in. So I think, like I say, the two spots that I'm worried about, Dale, and I'm not worried, is the two spots that we got to fill is the linebacker spots. Is
linebacker and D, a couple more D tackles, but yeah, linebackers for sure.
And then your two safety spots. I mean, you got guys in the room that could fill in. Well, one safety spot, because I think Stoudemire going to be one of the safeties. So one safety spot and the two linebackers are the two positions that I need to see, that I'm gonna be watching real hard in the spring. The two linebacker spots, the other safety spot that Shiloh played, because I think that Stoudemire is gonna play the safety spot that Silman Craig played. So, and I like where we at corner. Oh, hold on now. And then the other thing is, guys, Hodge gonna play somewhere. Hodge gonna start somewhere on this team. Hodge is going to start somewhere on this team.
I think Hodge being a slot corner. I think he's gonna play a lot, like the same way that we saw him in that last game where he got a carry at running back, he got catches at wide receiver, he was on and he was on defense. But I do think we'll lock him in a little bit more where he's, he can still bounce around, but he'll be kind of solidified in one spot more so. It's hard. It is hard for me to say though. I want to say slot corner or nickel, but it could also be slot receiver. It could be either or, man. But shout out to him.
Right now, I think going into the fall, right? That we're going into the spring that we gonna have. We already know Baby T.O. is gone. We know that Jordan O is gone. God bless those guys. We love them. We don't know how healthy Omarion Miller is going to be come springtime, right? So, who is your two out? So, to me, Cam Michael probably going to go out wide. Draylon Miller going to be in the slot. Hodge going to be in the slot. And then that other outside guy, I don't know who that other outside guy could be. It could be one of these freshmen. It could be some of these guys that we bring in the portal. But right now, just looking at what I got on my football team right now, that's why I'm with you with Hodge being a slot receiver. I think he'll be the slot. He'll be a slot guy right now in the offense right now.
I know somebody. I know y'all saying a name, but it's still up. That's still up in the air right now. Is Carter coming back? What's the reason for Carter leaving? I mean, he was pretty much is in the starting safety spot right now, so it really ain't no point of Carter leaving right now. So that would be my answer if Carter's coming back. I mean, I just don't see what the purpose of him leaving when you pretty much fighting for the starting position right now, and you're pretty much as the starter right now. So if you're leaving, you're walking away from a whole starting position. So I don't think Carter Stoudemire is going anywhere.
And that's what I'm asking y'all when we talk about the portal and kids jumping in the portal. When I call you and ask you what's going on as another coach that hit the portal, hey, how you doing? Such and such. How you doing, Dev? What's going on, baby? Hey, you coming from Colorado, right? Man, I saw you play a lot down there last year, man, and it looked like Simmons, Craig, and Shiloh leaving. Can you tell me why you're leaving?
Yeah,
you got to present these people with an answer, and it better not be because I don't like the coach. It better not be they too strict. It better not, because you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hang up the phone. I'm gonna say, oh, okay. Oh, I appreciate. I'm glad you answered that question for me. Thank you. I'm gonna hang up the phone and I'm gonna go up there to the little dartboard that we had your name on, and I'm gonna take you off.
Oh, we didn't forget about TC. We didn't forget. We know TC gonna get healthy. He gonna be back.
Yeah. But that he a tackle. He a tackle, and we need him. So he ain't an end. So yeah,
we
ain't forgot
we
about
gonna go get some. We gonna get some dogs at that defensive tackle position.
Hey, T4L, whatever, bro. Hey, bro, you just here just to ask silly questions, bro. We not answering them questions, bro. It ain't no excuses. The man decided he wanted to leave. That's it. We gonna wish him well. He did everything he when the one thing now he can get that conversation too. And hey, coach, I did everything right. I think JB a 3.5 or 4.0 grade student. Coach, it was just some better guys in front of me, and so I just felt like it'd be better for me to go somewhere where I could play. And then, because you can't say that he was a projected starter. When you talking about somebody asking about Stoudemire and somebody asking about Brown, Stoudemire was a projected starter. You get what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, I ain't gonna lie, but we had TC with Black Bully this year. That defense would have looked a lot better. That wouldn't hurt him getting hurt. That hurt us this year, because having him next to Black Bully, we'd be able to do some things when it comes to stopping that run to keep our linebackers clean. But that he's gonna benefit. He's gonna benefit coming back next year, being healthy. So he's still a work in progress. I don't think you're gonna see him too much in the spring, as far as practice and stuff go. But hey, you never know. But I can tell you right now, defensive tackles is something that they looking for true dogs, real dogs. They ain't looking for no development. So whatever they going to go get out the portal to come in for the defensive line, you already got your development pieces there. And so we don't need no more development pieces, right? You got Brandon Swain, you still as a development piece, and you got Merritt that's going to come in as a development piece. So you don't need no more development pieces. You need pure dogs that can come in there and make impacts right now. And I think Brandon Swain is going to take a big jump this year. I think that's a guy that people forgot about, because y'all didn't really see him. But when you see Brandon Swain, he's going to take a big jump this year.
Answer me this, Rob. Are we looking at Brandon Davis Swain? Has he moved to tackle? Is that what we?
Yeah, he's gonna end up being a tackle. You started seeing that transition middle of the season that he's gonna move to tackle. Just because what they want out of the edges, I don't think he could present. Because look at our edges, they're just a lot more quicker, more explosive off the edge.
Yeah,
that's not him. They're gonna, when you look at Brandon Swain, just look at McNeil. That's what they're trying to create. What McNeil is, right? That you can get the quickness inside, line him up, on top of a guard, and let him play one-on-one. And we gonna take our other defensive tackle, put him in the 1-0 technique, and let him take on the double teams and Brandon Swain go do his thing against one. So when you look at it, that's who, like, because when I look at guys on the roster, I look and see, all right, look at body types, look who they sitting behind, things like that. And then when you see it, and you see when he goes through practice, he's always going up against the guards. They tell you right there that what they finna do with him. So they finna turn him into what McNeil is. That's what they're gonna use Brent Swain as. So he's gonna put on some weight this offseason, but I expect him to blossom and have a big time offseason. All right, y'all. If y'all got any more questions in the chat, man, I'm gonna let y'all ask them before we get up out this thing, because the transfer portal hot and we ain't hard to find. Y'all know this our favorite time of the season. Y'all know we gonna be live and direct. We gonna give it to you. So hey, if you got any questions, bro, drop it down in the chat. I've been people fans bashing kids that's leaving CU, but love the kids that did the same thing from different school. Yeah, listen. I'm gonna say this: it's when it comes to stuff like that, right? Everybody gonna look like your fan favorites gonna come and go, right? That's just the bottom line of it. Your fan favorites are gonna come and go from a college team, but guess what? When your fan favorite leaves, a fan favorite is gonna come in. What is really the point of you getting upset with a kid for leaving? There's some type of situation that happened why that kid's leaving. Whether you agree upon it or don't agree upon it, there's always gonna be a situation why the kid is leaving. And so the kid's gonna make the best decision for them. So you can't never get upset for if a kid leaves. All you think you can do is just wish him well on his next stop. As grown people, think about if that was your kid in that situation. The same way you acted, you want your kid to be taking that same action? Just saying. So
it's just a decision. People live their lives through this football thing. A lot of them they want what they want. Everybody wants to be a part of a winner, right? But nobody wants to do the work. Everybody wants to be a winner, but a lot of folks don't want to do the work to be a winner. They just want to say, "Hey, I'm a winner." So whatever it takes for me to be a winner, some people they are lots of cheating skill still to get the wins, right? And then there's some people like Coach Prime who got a purpose and got a blueprint. When he said that thing in the song, and I don't like to say it a lot because the people from Jackson State gets upset, and I don't like going back and forth with them because I love Jackson as well. But he said I gave the SIP the blueprint and took my family to Boulder. I gave you the blueprint of what it takes to be a winner, not just in football, in life. Look at what Prime did for Jackson as a whole. He's doing the same thing in Boulder, Colorado. He's doing the same thing in Boulder, Colorado. Some of y'all go back. I think y'all look at Bucky tried to show you guys a whole aspect of what's going on. But today, when you get a chance, don't look at these videos from these but I want you to go back to them first videos when Prime first got to Colorado. And go back and look at these people when he went to these restaurants. Do y'all know that grits wasn't even a thing in Colorado till Prime got there?
Not up that way. You can only get them in certain spots. Yeah.
And go back and look at these restaurant people who some of these people, family businesses, were getting ready to go out of business. And look at how they knew automatically things were going to change because Deion Sanders and Coach Prime had came to the University of Colorado. Rob said at the beginning of the show, it ain't just about the guys that play the game. It's about every single person that's involved with the University of Colorado, from the janitor to the people that put together the uniforms, to the people, the equipment staff, the recruiting staff, Smitty and all the coach, is down to every little body. I want everybody in here to want to be winners. And when you change the culture, that's when you can make a change in everything that you do. And it's the same thing when you're in your life. You done tried it your way. Try being positive. Try every day I get up, I'm going to try to be positive. I'm not, I tell people all the time, I used to say that a lot. Man, boy, yeah, how your day was today, boy? Boy, I had a bad one today, boy. I had a bad day. Until I heard Coach Prime say, I can't afford to have a bad day. I'm not saying I can't have a bad moment. I'm not saying we can't have a bad hour, but I just can't afford to have a bad day. And so this might be them kids' bad moment in the day, or this might be their bad hour. But we want them kids to turn it around. And for you to go stomp on a kid and maybe at his lowest point, you don't know. Like I say, nobody knows why these kids are hitting the portal. We can assume why they hit the portal, but we don't really know.
Facts.
But what we're not going to do here on RobDaManMedia is we are not going to downgrade kids or make kids feel any kind of way. I told you, you find out who your real friends is when you're down in the dumps. Everybody your friend when you're up on the high horse. You find out who your real friends is when you're down in the dumps. You find out who your real friends is. You ever knew your friend had $20, $30 in their pocket, and you ask them for it, and they say they can't give it to you, or they don't have it, but you know they got $20, $30 in their pocket? Are you gonna be mad with your friend because he told you no? Ask yourself. Sometimes some of y'all need to look yourselves in the mirror and ask yourself some questions before you start jumping on young men. Because again, they young men, and age don't make you grown. I'm gonna keep telling y'all that age does not make you grown. So, what else you got, bro?
We got a few more questions before we get up out of here. Do you think why do you think CU not recruiting California kids the past 2 cycles? That's actually false. They have recruited California kids. California kids just didn't come to Colorado, so that's not even true. We had a kid from from California committed, Aaron Butler, who decided to go to the University of Texas. So you can't say that they haven't recruited California kids the last 2 cycles, because they have. But one thing about the West Coast is, if you're recruiting West Coast kids and they decide not to come there, you're not gonna keep wasting your time on West Coast kids for them not to come there. It doesn't make sense, right? When you got hotbed of recruiters in the state of Florida, in the state of Texas, in the state of Georgia, Louisiana, and down south, if that's who your preferred recruiters are, then it's not to say we won't take nobody from California out west. It's just when people are not saying yes to you from that part of the side, why invest time, resources into that? It just doesn't make sense. When can Porter players sign with a team? So basically, they can sign a financial aid whenever they want. A kid, I'll give you an example, right? We have some kids that came out the portal at the end of the season that we just picked up, right? That doesn't mean that they're gonna be on with us next year, but you can stay in the portal for as long as you want. Once you enter the portal, you can be in the portal for as long as until somebody gets you out of the portal. That's just how the portal works. But you can always sign a financial aid agreement with any university. But does that mean that you're gonna be on scholarship? That's a whole different other story. But you can sign with a teammate at any point in time out of the portal. So that's pretty much how that works. So the commitments, probably next week you'll start expecting to see some commitments, things like that. But you got to get kids on campus first, right? And then once kids get on campus, that's when you can start seeing commitments roll. I know December 20th. I know that's a big deadline that Colorado's looking at to get a lot of kids on visits. This upcoming weekend, I don't know what the schedule looks like for us recruiting, but I know the following weekend they're gonna be looking for a heavy amount of guys to be on campus during that time period. So What they do this weekend and who they get on campus this weekend is going to be remaining to see. So you just got to stay patient to see who comes on campus, and it's going to kind of give you an idea. Depending on who the recruits are and what positions, you can kind of get a basic idea who's going to do what. So, do you think we'll see some Louis uniforms at CU? No, I don't think that's going to happen. We know that, J-Dot. We already know. We already know about the Cali stuff, man. We ain't got to go into that. I think that might be all, Dre. I think that might be all. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all. So yeah, that's all the questions that we got, Dre. So we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Once again, another great live. Everybody that's in the chat, man, we appreciate you guys for pulling up on us. Just being active in the chat, talking. That's what we're here for. We're not afraid to answer nobody questions. Moving forward. I forgot to answer one. So the Discord is still live. The Discord is attached to the memberships now. So once you sign up for a membership, you get a link to the Discord. It's automatically already in there. It'll give it to you. Moving towards January 1st, our chats will be member-based chats. We're going to do some subscriber-only lives, but we're also going to do some member-only lives. So become a member today. The cheapest membership is $5. Y'all spend that at McDonald's or wherever every day. So we're just doing something different, but also we pushing forward to do some other things and to get some other people onto the channel and onto the platform. So everything that gives back to the channel is is going to go for a valuable reason, not to put money in our pockets, but to help elevate, to grow this platform and grow into something else as we working to build bigger things for RobDaManMedia. So it ain't just me. We got my brother, Coach Dre. We got a team behind us. And so we don't want that to go unmissed. The people that's part of the team, y'all know who y'all are. Salute to y'all. And when the time has come, y'all gonna see a different production from RobDaManMedia coming January and moving forward into 2025. So man, we appreciate y'all as always. Coach Jay, go ahead and close us out. We about this thing.
As usual, we appreciate everybody for stopping by, giving us the support. We're not without y'all, man. We do this for the positive people, and because I think every day in life somebody needs to be encouraged, somebody needs to be uplifted, somebody needs to be a kind word spoken to them. So that's why on here we gonna always try to keep it positive, try to keep it but real. You get what I'm saying? I always tell y'all it's not about what you're saying, it's about how you're saying it. We appreciate everybody for stopping by. We want to give a big shout out to our brother Dale for stopping by and hanging out with us all day. We appreciate it. Everybody that was in the chat talking, we appreciate it. No question is a dumb question unless you trolling or hating. No question is a dumb question unless you trolling or hating. And like I said, we appreciate it. Hey, man, always love your people, man. Love on the people that love you. Because don't take this day for granted. Don't put off something today thinking that you have tomorrow. Like I always say,
hold on, Dre. Hey, Dre, make sure I smash that like button for us, man. We've been under 200 likes and we've been having over 400 people watching us. So man, let's get it up to 200. I just asked for half of it, not even all, just half of it. So if y'all in here, man, make sure y'all smash that like button for y'all leave out. Go ahead, Coach Dre.
And like I always say, if I send no ships out, no ships will come in. And if there's no contest, nobody can win. Games can't be won if they haven't been played, and prayers can't be answered if they haven't been prayed. I am your man, Coach Drake. That is my brother, Rob D. Man. And we'll see y'all Wednesday. God bless.